Twinkies, the cake that allegedly never goes bad. So today I thought we would try turning this into some ice cream. Now it's been a while since I've had a Twinkie, so I will have to taste it here in a bit. But the initial thoughts from viewing it is there's a lot of the sponge cake around here, and I'm worried that there's too much of it to put into the cake because it might just absorb and make it too grainy. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this open, scrape out the cream filling, and then only use a portion of the cake inside with the milk to create the ice cream base. So yeah, let's get to that. So I have 3 Twinkies right here, and we probably don't need this many, but I just wanted to be sure we had enough. I think I'm going to use at least all the filling from all 3 of these, and then probably only like a half or 1 of the Twinkies for the whole cake part of it. But yeah, I think right now let's get to kind of cutting these open, and then I'll do a just kind of taste test for this. Okay, those are looking actually much better now that they're out of the package. Cut it open so we can get to the good stuff in there. So that's what it looks like on the inside. So it's not even a straight line, it's just kind of 3 dots and that's it. One thing I'm noticing right after cutting these and touching these is you can see kind of the oil that's already on my hands. So that'll be interesting to see how that mixes with the milk once we put some of that cake in there. And I think that's just kind of the oil and all the chemicals that are in these. So yeah, should be interesting to see how that turns out. But I think for now, I need to do a taste test to really know what I'm working with. Bon appetit. Yeah, that reminds me why I don't usually have Twinkies, because it's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's just sweet and very fake. Like honestly, the best part is probably the cream filling. So anyway, so I want to make sure I save that as much as possible. So I'm gonna grab a spoon and then kind of scoop that off to the side. So that actually ended up being quite a bit of the cream filling, which is good. I'm glad I used all 3 because that's gonna be very helpful in our ice cream. And then I'm going to kind of chop these up a little bit just so they break apart a little bit easier. And then I will save these for later. I'm going to try doing something and see if that works out. If not, it's a snack for later. Okay, so I'm going to start with adding the cream that we just collected, adding that into the bowl, and I will come back to these later. Then I'm going to add our cup of milk. And then I'm going to add some of our cake to this, but not all of it yet, because I kind of want to see if we need to add more, but I'll start with that. Okay, so now we're going to mix these in, because we really want to get that cream there kind of integrated into the milk and kind of let it dissolve a little bit, and we want to let that cake break up. Okay, now that that's mixed up a little bit, we're going to add our dries, which is sugar and then a little bit of that vanilla pudding mix, which will kind of help thicken this. All right, I'm gonna add a few more pieces of cake. Get that in there, but not too much more. And it's okay if this ends up being chunky, because in the end, it's going to get broken up by the Ninja Creami. But we want to break it down as much as possible to make it easier for the machine. All right, that should be ready to pour and then put in the freezer for the night. Yeah, that's looking super chunky right there. So that's what that looks like. Kind of see there. You can already see the difference between kind of the white cream filling and then kind of more the yellow color of the milk mixed with the cake. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like once it's blended up afterwards. But for now, let's put it in the freezer and call it a day. it's the next day. Let's open this up and see how this turned out. And that is looking just as rough as when I first put it in. Kind of see there, it's still pretty chunky. Definitely smells like Twinkie, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. So right now I'm not seeing anything that's a red flag. And so I think this is ready to put into the machine and see how it blends up. Because I'm hoping that this looks a lot better on the other end. All right, that is actually looking pretty good. Kind of see there, nice whip. It's luckily blended all those colors and gives what I was expecting for a Twinkie ice cream to look like. Yeah, looks like it's pretty decent consistency. Definitely has that Twinkie smell to it. Not as strong as I would expect it to, but it still has that kind of smell to it. So yeah, let's get to tasting it. Yeah, it's scooping pretty good. This is starting to look like an actual ice cream you would buy, which is what I was wanting. So I wanted to try doing something extra for this ice cream with the leftover Twinkies. So I took some of them and I cut them up into cubes and put them in the oven to create some kind of Twinkie crouton thing, which would have worked if I had paid attention to how long they were in the oven. And I burnt the first batch. Well, luckily I still had some left over. And so that's what these ones turned out to look like, which are much better. Now we're gonna take the Twinkie croutons that I made and use those as kind of a garnish. So let's kind of put maybe 3 of those there. Then I'll take one and I'll just kind of crumble it up. It's kind of a crumb on there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Kind of see there. Got all of that. So yeah, only one thing left to do. Bon appetit.
That's not terrible.
Wow, that is actually really good. The actually, surprisingly, I think the best part is the Twinkie croutons, but it definitely gives you that kind of crunch in there. There's not a lot of flavor in there, but I think that really helps with the texture of this. Now the ice cream itself, I think, works really good. Definitely tastes like Twinkie. There's a weird aftertaste, and I can't like quite put my finger on it. I want to say it's like some kind of like chemical aftertaste. Yeah, I think it hits you with kind of the sweet. You can definitely taste the cream filling there and a little bit of the cake, which is good. So I think it's the oils from the cake that is making that weird flavor kind of linger afterwards. But overall, not bad. Like I think this is really close to like a finished product of an ice cream. So because of all of that, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I think it works really well. It's really good. The croutons, I originally wasn't going to do, but did those last second, and I'm glad I did. But I feel like that weird aftertaste is something that's making it hard to like eat a bunch of this. Like I only had 2 bites and I could still taste it. So if there was a way to figure out a way around that, I think this would be a huge success. So definitely think it's worth experimenting on your own and trying this. Yeah, super good. I think it just needs a little bit of tweaking, and maybe it's something where you just use the filling and then use your own sponge cake instead. Highly recommend trying this. I think it's close to being something really good, but only if you like the Twinkie flavor. Thank you everyone for taking time out of your day to watch me make weird ice cream flavors. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy sharing it with you guys. And if you enjoy that too, feel free to like this video and subscribe so you can see when I upload next, which is every Sunday. And if you have any ideas for future flavors of ice cream you want me to try. Feel free to leave those in the comments below. And if you want the recipe that I use in this episode, that'll be in the description below. Again, thank you for watching and have a great day.